So you're saying withdraw from marketing, focus on product in this current economy. But there's a lot of service-based industries now looking at this: accountants, solicitors, IFAs, mortgage brokers, etc. Taking a step back, saying, well, how on earth do I productise a service business?
Yeah, well, the fear is if I stop marketing, stop selling, that nothing's going to happen. But what I say to them is, well, investing in your product is your marketing. Creating the cut-through product that everyone wants to get their hands on, that is the marketing. And we've been saying to people, if you take your business and understand what the IP is, this is all about your intellectual property that sits under your business. So my big question for people is why? Why would I use you, Mr. Accountant, as opposed to the accountant down the road? And when the answer is, well, I've got a lot of experience and I'm a nice guy, and
which is your standard answers within this service, yeah, because I know quite a lot of accountants. My service is better than the other accountant, based on?
I know more, I've been around a while, et cetera, et cetera. Well, once you've got that, there's no cut-through. You just sound like everybody else. If you can take the time to understand what your intellectual property is, why the client buys you and not somebody else, and then you convert that into some product, then you win. I mean, people want to engage with somebody who's got something that can help them advance their businesses or their personal lives.
Excellent. Well, coming to the other point where you said that the recession is now a perfect opportunity to start business, which sort of goes against the trend, because there's inherent fear that now is the worst time to start a business. Statistics say that 90% of businesses fail within the first 2 to 3 years. How come some businesses prosper during a recession, and how come a lot fail? Is it because they haven't productized?
Well, the prospering during recession is normally going niche, and so if you find a market and go very narrow on it in a recession, as opposed to wide, which you do in a boom, then you can just target that market and pick up the whole market per se. That's big volume, even though it's the middle of a recession. And an example was we have an accounting firm that we're helping presently. And when we went through, who are they and what are they all about, et cetera, who they are is the travel industry. That's who they are. Their niche is all about the travel industry. They understand the client in the travel game better than anybody else. And so we said to them, well, how are you leveraging that? What IP are you using around the travel industry, other than saying, we're nice guys and we have a few clients who are travel people? And so we worked with them on that, and it led us to now running an annual conference once a year for the travel industry. I spoke at it the other day. There was over 250 people there. Half of them were clients, half weren't. But the half who weren't were attracted to it because it's a specialist travel industry sector play. What did they get up and speak about? Well, they had speakers come along to talk about business and how to grow the business and all that sort of stuff. But they also did all of the technical stuff wrapped around valuing your business and getting the inheritance taxes sorted, et cetera, specific to that industry. And so, overnight they've got another 125 prospects sitting in the room who are looking at 125 people who have already bought that service because it's travel industry. The conversion rate on that will be huge.
So the key is niche, and then productise around the niche.
Yeah.
And with a classic example, hold a conference once a year.
Well,
which is relatively straightforward if you think about it. It's not difficult to do.
Well, and self-funding. So like,
there's another thing, costs nothing.
The client pays to come.